this has come as a huge shock. Has it come as a shock to New Zealanders as well?
Look, here and there, I think it is being called a shock resignation. But look, there has been some talk about her resigning as Prime Minister, especially ahead of this year's general election for a little while now, probably about 6 months. So it didn't come as much of a surprise. But this morning we did go into her speech thinking we'll get an election date. We did, October 14, but as soon as she said those words that she'd been reflecting over summer, that kind of pricked our ears up and thought, hang on, we think we know this is going to go.
She's only 42. It's extraordinary. Most politicians go on and on and on, and she had been probably one of the most popular prime ministers, leaders in the world. But had that started to change for her?
It did, and now that Jacinda-mania that started in 2017 when she first came into power has kind of dwindled over the last couple of years, and that's down to a lot of that COVID fatigue a lot of us are feeling at the moment. For example, some freedom protesters came outside of the place where they're doing their Labour retreat in Napier with bagpipes shouting freedom after they heard the news. Those are the kind of people that have been protesting things like COVID vaccines, COVID mandates, and of course COVID lockdowns as well. I'm sure you guys have got a lot of the same groups there.
She's a fascinating person just in her personal life. I believe when she came to office, her child was extremely young. And am I right in thinking her partner decided to be the stay-at-home dad? I mean, refreshingly modern and a part of, I suppose, why the whole Jacinda-mania kicked off. And her handling, of course, of that awful massacre in New Zealand as well earned her plaudits around the world. Do you think she'll be, what will her legacy be? Do you think it will be positive or negative overall, given those factors?
I think definitely her legacy will be responding in a crisis. Like you said, the Christchurch terror attack in 2019, then later that year, the White Island volcano erupted, and then she took us through COVID as well. So a lot of unprecedented times for Jacinda. She's faced more firsts in New Zealand than any other Prime Minister has had to face, quite frankly. So her legacy is going to be that empathy, that compassion that everyone's fallen in love with around the world and the globe. And especially for women as well. Remember, she did take her daughter Neve as a baby into the UN General Assembly when she first had her. And of course, she had her just after she became Prime Minister. She entered motherhood.